All right, hello, welcome to the stream. This is Laggie the Couch. Hope you're doing well out there. Tonight, we're playing some more PARANORMASIGHT. There's a little bit of a rhyme scheme there, isn't there? It's nice, it's nice. Let me check my audio, and then we can talk about what's going on here. How do we sound? Well, that music in the background is certainly calming, isn't it? Okay, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be alright. My camera's in a little bit of a weird spot. Maybe I should... Maybe it'll be better there. I don't know. We'll see. May have completely broke my model. We'll keep an eye on it as the evening wears on. Maybe... I was rearranging my desk last night, so things got moved. And my camera got moved a little bit too. But, It seems to be sort of working. I probably should have, like, tinkered with that a little bit more before going live, but... I didn't remember until just now. And we're already live, and there's no going back. Unlike in this game, I cannot rewind time and go to previous points in the timeline and make better decisions. I gotta live with my choices. Okay, let's talk about this game. PARANORMASIGHT, The 7 Mysteries of Honjo. This is session 2 for this game. We started it a little bit earlier this week, I think on Monday? Monday sounds right. Yeah, it was Monday. And, had a really, really good time with it, honestly. I've never really played a visual novel on stream before. And this one turned out to be a blast. I, really got into it. I was having fun. Hang on. I know something that's wrong here. I knew something was up. I think it's fine. I'm gonna not mess with it for now. But anyways, ignore that. Yeah, never played a visual novel on stream until this moment. And, had a great time, like I said. Wanted to play more. Didn't. And now here we are playing more. So yeah, good times. To sum up the story, if this is your first time watching this game, or seeing any of it, basically, we're in this town. It's haunted by curses, and we have become a curse bearer, and we're trying to unravel the mystery of what's going on. If you unravel the mystery, you could be granted the power of, like, resurrecting the dead or something, I think. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the idea. Let's see. I see in chat, Seaman Demon's here. We got Mind Blocks and Luis as well. Hope y'all are doing well today. Hope everything's fine. We're gonna go in and like recap some of the story starting right now because I kind of remember some of it, but not super well. It has been like about 5 days or so since I played, so it's been a sec. Let's refresh our memories and bring you up to speed as well. But the general idea is that curses and resurrection and that sort of thing are happening, so... no more delay. Make it happen. Right, so last time we had unlocked this timeline, but before that, let's look at some persons of interest. So Shogo is our main character. He's our protagonist. He basically is a normal guy who got the power of cursing people and stuff, and has a bit of a kill count racked up. So, that's that. We have Yoko here, who is a girl that he was apparently interested in, who died very early on. But Seaman Demon's such a good name, Seaman Demon. Why would I not call you by that name? But yeah, we have Yoko here. She died, she was cursed early on. Richter Kai is a sussy guy, we don't really know much about him. We got Police Officer number 1, Police Officer number 2. This guy we murdered as well. Takumi, we killed him. Storyteller's kind of like the breaking the fourth wall sort of guy. So that's the cast of the people that we've interacted with. We've seen more people than that, but that's I guess all the people we have files on. I guess just to go through the timeline. We started in this park. Yoko was searching for curses. She got killed around here. There's her dead face. We met this guy on a bridge. And then we met this girl in a park. And we survived, but then we died anyways. I don't know. Basically, that's a pretty good rendition of the story, I think. Also, while we're here at the beginning, before we've gotten into it, this game has a lot of Japanese names and stuff in it. I'm very bad at pronouncing Japanese names and stuff. I'm bad at pronouncing English. And I've been speaking that for like 30 years or something. So, yeah. Apologies in advance. Let's go ahead and get in there. So, I think we want to try and start here and see if we can branch this path in a different direction, if at all possible. Alright. Yeah, we're in Kinshibori Park, towards the beginning of the game. Summary of previous events. Shogo is with Yoko at Kinshibori Park, searching for one of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. His interest in the occult starts to grow as he learns more about it from Yoko. Yeah. That seems about right. Let's... Do we restart or resume? I don't really understand the difference between the two. I guess probably restart, right? And we're in. Oh, Yoko, you look so alive right now. It's nice. I really like it. Okay, recall. I've gotten most of my memories back, but I still feel a bit out of it. Right. What's going on? Wait, you're kidding, right? About what? I mean, just now. It kind of sounded like you were saying that only people with spirit sense can see you. Right, yeah. So, before this chapter started, Yoko made a funny about how she was a ghost, and if we could see her, then clearly we have the ability to sense spirits and stuff. So that was really funny, Yoko. Really funny. Now, like, she became a spirit, like, very shortly after this, but you'll see, you'll see. Of course that was a joke, duh. You don't really think I'm some kind of evil spirit, do you? Undecided. We've seen all this dialogue before, so I'm gonna skip through it a little bit. See, there's a person, like, right there behind us. I saw him before. She sees someone behind us at some point in the near future. So I bet it's that guy. She, like, freaks out. Something else I should probably mention. I know we're all over the place here. The curse that we have, each curse that the curse bearers have, has the ability, or you have to fulfill certain conditions to make it activate, right? So for Shogo's curse, the way that you activated it was someone had to be leaving you behind or walking away. Then you could basically kill him without a trace. So there's that. And that happened to Yoko before we got the curse stone. So I'm wondering who she left behind. That's kind of what I'm keeping an eye out for. So anyways, Yoko can see paranormal stuff. She's comparing it to liquor and stuff for some reason. Don't quite get that whole line of humor, but whatever. Spooky zoom in on her face. Trying to get you to believe in the paranormal. Okay. Let's see. We've been through all this dialogue before. So again, we'll skip around a bit. If you want to see the dialogue in full, there's always part 1. More about spirit sense. Okay. What about alcohol? This is where he asks her out and basically gets rejected in a pretty great way, where she says, yeah, I'll go out with you if you help me unravel the mysteries of, like, this entire game. So, yeah. It's kind of like saying, I'll go out with you if you meet me on the moon. Okay. About the 7 mysteries. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's actually 9 mysteries, not 7. That's a part of this as well, is that apparently the curse can't count or something. Yeah, see what he's saying right now. What Shogo's going on about is that there's 7 mysteries, but the literature lists 9, which I didn't pick up on at all, but I totally played off very coolly in the first stream. Alright. And they said, like, it's because of marketing, basically, is why they left it at 7 instead of the accurate number. Don't quite get it, but whatever. Alright. More about the 7 mysteries. Are they really ghost stories? So something else is that the way the stories were told today doesn't make them sound that scary, but I think the idea is they've gotten, like, twisted throughout the years or something. Yeah, because after hundreds of years, you know, things change over time. It's the basic idea. We're searching for the mystery of the Weeping Canal. And leaving someone at the canal means leaving them behind, basically. Okay. What else? Rite of Resurrection. We're going to talk to this girl as long as possible while we have the chance, because, if the past is anything to go on, we will not have the chance for much longer. And we're talking about the Rite of Resurrection now, which is something to do with the mysteries. I guess what we learned is that if you gather enough soul energy, or soul dregs, I think is what they were called, that would allow you to perform the rite of resurrection. Now, last time, it seemed like we gathered 100% of the soul dregs we needed, and then we just died and unlocked the story chart. That's kind of how things ended last time, so don't know. I feel like that's maybe not the truth. We'll see. We'll see. Things are very mysterious in this mystery game. Okay. Got another question. Let's see. Rite of Resurrection. Yeah, she apparently wants to bring her dead dog back to life, is what she said. I'm not so sure. I'm starting to doubt that a little bit. I think that might just be a story. But, again, time will tell. So, yeah. It's true stories. This is kind of like a summary. So the stories are the true to finding the Rite of Resurrection, basically. And that's why we're searching for one here, so she can bring her dog back to life. And we're helping her out because we're totally not into her. Shogo's type is apparently bubbly girls that are into the occult. Kind of odd. Right. Blah, 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 blah. So what's also going to happen here, guys, is we're undoubtedly going to fail at this first attempt. Because he totally sent, like, the storyteller totally sent us back to this point and said, oh, you know what to do now, right? And we were like, oh, yeah, sure. We played off. We totally don't know what to do. At least I don't. So there's going to be a bit of trial and error. Apologies in advance. But, we'll do our best and stuff. That's all we can do. I'm not sure what the game wants from me here, is what I'm trying to say. Currently. We're going to search for it, but... I'm not going back, like, with a plan. I'm just going back to, like, look around with the knowledge that we have now and see if anything else, occurs to me. That's the idea. Okay. Yep, it's her dog. She wants to bring her dog back. Sorry, I spoiled that. She doesn't even know if the rite works on dogs is the thing, which is why I think she's lying as well. I have suspicions. I'm not going to go into them quite yet. You do... I did go back and watch a good portion of this playthrough, and you do pick up on stuff when you go back through, and you're not, like, playing it, and you're also just kind of, like, paying attention and making note of things. So, I think... I don't know. I think... I'm not going to say it. Alright, so there we go. So this is the first time we've interacted with the curse at all. Something like knocked us down. Okay, let's think. What was that just now? Don't know. And Yoko's like freaking out. Let's talk to her. Yep. Yeah, she's not handling it well. She's in no condition to talk. Keep yelling her name. No, we're gonna keep at it. I'm not gonna let her go this time. Is calling her name really gonna help? There's nothing there. Yeah. We learned last time. We turned around, there was nothing. So, okay, the story is changing. That's good. New things are happening. Yoko! Hang in there, Yoko! Look at me, you're gonna be okay. It's alright, there's nothing there! Yoko! Oh! Look at that. New branching path. Let's go, baby. No, I think we're okay. Yeah, let's continue. Basically, there's a light on my desk that I used to, like, illuminate my face to hopefully help the face tracking. Because I rearranged my desk, it's behind my monitors now. But I think we might still be okay. It doesn't look that weird. I think it's all right. So we're going to do without it tonight. And I don't know. I'll probably rewatch this and be like, oh, God, everything's screwed up. No. But, nah, let me just fix it. Let me just do it real fast. So let's shift that. And then shift this. Yep, just like that. Apologies for the rattling, if you can hear it. There we go. That's all I wanted to do. Nice and easy. Actually, let me turn this monitor. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Appreciate your patience. All right. Kinshibori Park, Part 3, Prime. We're still in Shogo's POV. Which is something else I noticed, by the way, from the timeline, is that this is all traced from Shogo. It kind of implies that there's going to be other POVs that we can look at later in the game or something. We'll have to see how it shakes out. I haven't looked up any spoilers for this game, by the way. I have no idea what's going to happen. So, seems like the best way to play games like this if you can manage it. Summary of previous events. Shogo cries Yoko's name in a desperate attempt to wake her as she lies, unmoving, on the ground. Will this please get through to her? Yeah, you know, that's what you do. If someone's, like, supernaturally drowning, just yell at them. That'll help calm them down. Keep water from filling their lungs and stuff. But hey, at least it's different than what we did before. Yoko. You're not dead, Yoko. That's an improvement. Huh? Oh, good. You're awake. What? Are you okay? You were so rattled and confused, I thought you'd really lost it. Do you feel dizzy? Have a headache? Are your humors off balance? Haha, callback humor. Wait, what did you just say? I think I've heard that before. You're the one who said it earlier, Yoko. Oh, right, that might have been it. My humors were off balance. What, back there? You ended up like that because of your humors? In case you don't know what humors are, because it's a little bit, they never explained it in this game so far. And it's a little bit of, like, old knowledge that you don't hear people talk about very much. At least I don't. But I learned in school that, I think it was an ancient Greek thing where it had something to do with, like, the levels of, like, elements within your body. And if they were off balance, it affected your, like, health and mental, like, well-being and stuff. That's, like, my very, very vague, many years ago understanding of the concept. But, anyways. Yeah, I've heard that at this age, your humors being even a little off can be fatal. Shogo's like, you're not dead, and I like that. I did a good thing by yelling at you. I'm glad you're back to normal now. Well, as normal as you can be, Yoko. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble. You did cause me a lot of trouble. I, like, went on a whole quest because you died. Like, to save you and bring you back and stuff. Still a good jacket, by the way. But I really don't remember what happened. Sounds like what happened to me. Maybe this place is dangerous somehow. What, this place where a curse is supposed to reside? Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's something to that. Gunshot? That was a straight-up gunshot sound, right? What? Are you blacking out? Yeah, it just doesn't feel safe to me. And I'm worried about you. What was that aside? Let's call off today's investigation. Come on, I just started feeling back to normal, too. Nope, not happening. Go home. I'll even pay your cab fare, okay? Aw, way to go. Not bad, Shogo, not bad. I ended up having to force a still protesting Yoko into a taxi. Better than leaving in an ambulance when you're already dead, Yoko, so don't complain too much. Even then, she still wouldn't stop complaining. Nag, nag, nag with this girl all the time, talking about humors and alcohol on her dead dog. Ugh, I swear. So to placate her, I promised I'd search the park on my own for a little while longer. You fool! That's how the game's gonna start again. Okay. Look at that. We bypassed all this tragedy. Freaking... This entire kill streak has been ruined and sidestepped. But maybe that's okay. We're, like, moving further to the right. That's progress, right? Back to Kinshibori Park. Part 4. Shogo's point of view still. Worried about Yoko after her bizarre incident where she survived. Shogo decides to call off their investigation into the mysteries of the night. Or for the night. Despite her stubborn objections, he manages to persuade her by offering to continue the search on his own. The next day, right? The next day. Right? Yeah, 5 a.m. Let's go. Good job, Shogo. Ah, this music. Kind of nostalgic. Did I wake up here? In further news... Before dawn today, a police officer on patrol discovered a man collapsed in Sumida City Park. Oh. He's dead. The man was taken to the hospital, but his death was confirmed shortly after. So he got killed instead. Investigators are still underway, or investigation is still underway. Police suspect the connection to the other explained deaths found in the area around the same time. Yup. Drowned-it-id, right where he stood-it-id. Or sat-it-id. Paranormasight. Again, the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. Once more. Ah! Wow, I stopped last time right before the credits, huh? That's okay. So I guess that all was prologue. Interesting. Wonder if I should go back and rename the archive. We've seen some of these locations before, but it was much darker when we were looking before. Now it is actually visible, and it's not all spooky. I mean, it's still kind of spooky. It's still like that, got that foggy, Silent Hill-esque vibe to it, you know? It's like everything's slightly out of focus and gray and green. Oh, hey, storyteller. Well done in your efforts thus far. Thank you, thank you. This brings Shogo Okie's story to a close. Ah, but this is not the end. Far from it. In fact, this is where the story finally begins. Let's go. Finally gonna start this. The routes of the 3 protagonists have now been unlocked. Oh, here we go. Haruo Shigema, a woman who lost her son when he was kidnapped and murdered. Like her a lot. Ah, the cop. Tetsuo Tsutsumi. There goes the butchering. The chief inspector of the 1st Investigative Division, who is looking into the death of an officer in the line of duty. Oh, and her. Yako Sakazaki. Yako Sakazaki. A high school girl who wants to bring her friend back from the dead. A girl who died in a suspicious suicide. Each of them is burdened with circumstances that leave them no choice but to seek the right of resurrection. Following these 3 storylines will reveal the full nature of all that is occurring. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. You don't have to bow, it's fine. It's okay. Here we go! Okay. Who do we play as first? I think I've got to stay committed to Haruo. She's got like the best motives so far. Thing is, all 3 of these people have motives to seek the right of resurrection, right? All 3 of them do. She's trying to bring her son back. He's trying to bring that officer back, I think. And she's trying to bring her friend who died suspiciously in a suicide-esque scenario back. I think we'll go with Haruo, not just because she's very pretty and stuff, but like I want to know what's up with the Michael Jackson detective guy, who's probably not a detective, who definitely tried to kill us before. I'm pretty sure now. I was confused during the last stream about his involvement in the story towards the end of the story. So basically, we went to a park as our boy Shogo, and she kind of held us up and said she was going to curse us. And at one point, it looked like she pulled it off, but I think it was actually him. Or they're definitely working together. Because what he knew, what Michael Jackson cop knew, is that we had a lighter on us. And the way that we died was by burning alive. So I'm thinking that... And then later, when we tried to retry, we threw the lighter away, and then the curse didn't work. So I'm thinking that... And he asked us, I don't know if I mentioned that, I'm kind of like, my mind's kind of drifting out, but he asked us if we had a lighter and confirmed it earlier in the story. So I'm wondering if he's the curse bearer actually that killed us, and she was just being held up. Now we did kill her and get curse bearer level souls from her, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, we'll stick on the top line. So top line's got the character I personally am into the most. I've justified this decision enough. Let's go to Not Dreams. The Haruo Shigema timeline. When the son of Haruo Shigema was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. 1 year later, Haruo has hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. Stranger than the detective himself. I mean, the dude looks good. He's got like the fingerless gloves. He's got like the white matching hat and shirt, kind of gold chain, open chest. Like, he looks good, but I mean, you can't say he's not sus, right? In we go. May those who mock fire's fury perish in this flame. Kill them. Kill them! The flame bearers! Kill them all! You've acquired the power of the Curse Stone, the Haunting Clappers. You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire-starting device on their person. Right, yep. Press the Use Curse button to set your target alight. Okay, got it. So now we have more information on the Haunting Clappers, right? So there's the Curse Stone. It's more of a... It's not a stone. It's more of a medallion or a pendant or a fetish or something. I don't know. And there's our ghost, which is like known as the Cursed Echo. Resentful memory. Red, red, red. Everything is dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. It's hot. So, so hot. I must call for help, but I cannot speak. My throat must be burned up from the smoke. No, I think I'm already on fire. That's right, I'll just use the clappers. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm gonna burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right. Her. It must be the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord. That witch! Those hauntingly cold eyes had my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. The sound of a heavy bell. It feels like my head will split open. Ah, right. The evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clack, clack. And then he died. He became a ghost spirit thing. A curse echo. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick, black tar. Now. Kill. Maybe later. I'm not going to do it right now just because you told me to. Can you hear it, Curse Bearer? You who so strongly desire the right. Kill them. Kill who? Be specific. Like, I don't know. I don't want to just, like, kill anyone. 12 a.m. Spooky things happening at night once more. We're in a mansion. Oh, it's Richter. Back with me, ma'am. Oh, hey there. What's going on? Nice mole. Can't say I understand what just happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. Uh-oh, hey. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Well, that's scary. The thought of murder makes her smile. Sweet dreams? Yeah, that's not a face that looks like a good mood-having person to me, but whatever. Alright. Let's get her info. She's a housewife. So she is married. That was something we had debated last time. And she has the Haunting Clappers Curse Echo. Haruo is a housewife who resides in a manor near Shumoku Bridge. Her 11-year-old son, Shuichi, was kidnapped and murdered about a year ago. The death was the result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned to the case. A mistake which enraged the kidnapper and had him cut off all contact with the police, leaving no room for negotiation. Oh, damn. The incident was covered up, and Shuichi's killer remains at large, leaving the aggrieved Haruo to call on the services of private investigator Richter Kai to uncover the truth. The Shigema family came from a line of samurai who built the residence in Honjo during the Edo period. They assumed important positions in the police force following the Meiji Revolution, which is something I don't have any knowledge of, but sounds like something I've heard before, thereby protecting their family's elevated status. Even today, many in the Shigema line work as police bureaucrats and senior police officials. Haruo's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted into the Shigema clan through an arranged marriage, is also a highly respected agency official. Political family. Oh my god, so much lore. However, as her family prioritizes work above all else, it wasn't long before Haraway's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she is isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Haraway a purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Yeah, also. Following the incident, Haraway spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits of shouting and wandering around in the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks at her husband, which only further soured their relationship. I mean, understandable. Jeez. Like, how long ago did this happen? Like a year ago? It's not something you get over in like a year. Hell, that's not something you get over in like a lifetime. A few months ago, Haraway's husband was transferred to another area for work, and now rarely returns home, with Haraway left to live in the large empty mansion alone. Yeah, it's rough. As the housekeeper has been with the family for a long time, comes in to take care of all the housework, Haraway has nothing but time on her hands. Yeah, I mean, like, my place feels like empty enough, and it's just me in like a one-bedroom apartment. So I can imagine like a big empty house. Like, there's something like weird and unsettling about being in like a big house by yourself, you know? I don't know what it is. So I can... You could say she hasn't been set up very well for, like, happiness or, like, getting over stuff. Oh, hey, Rohank, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Great to see you. You join us as we're learning the tragedy of Haraway's life. He's our current, like, POV protagonist. But hope you're doing well, Rohank. Hope you're having a good weekend thus far. When is the next tab stream? It'll be tomorrow, Rohank, around the usual time. So hope to see you there. Oh, I see. That's what you'd say if you were a tabs nerd. Of course, you're not a tabs nerd, are you, Rohank? Nah. But yeah, tomorrow, usual time. Tomorrow evening. And I am looking forward to it. All right. No. Not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. Okay. Oh, we can talk to Richter. Let's look around the place first. So we got a flower arrangement. It's an arrangement of flowers, this flower arrangement. We're learning a lot. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. They're called Larry, Jeremy, and Carl. And it'd be good if you remember that, ma'am. Is that Michael Jackson? Yeah, he's the Michael Jackson detective is what we're calling Richter Rohank. We got stereo. A stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insisted on buying one, even though he isn't one to listen to music often. It's pretty sick stereo, honestly. This is like, back in the 80s, so I think a setup like this is a good deal. What the hell is that? Huh? Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, he made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or other. You put it up just before... Well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to take it down. Let me take a closer look. It's a chicken. I can see it now. I knew it. It's Head Hencho from way back in set number 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you've never heard of the Mockingbirds. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. Actually, pretty good concept. I never heard of any of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is no one knows who made them. They just started showing up around town, and soon enough they won everybody's hearts. The story goes that they're made by some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. Sounds like a game mechanic to me. No one knows when or where they'll show up next. They're basically an urban legend of sorts. To think one would turn up here of all places. This is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh well, that's, nice. Yep, cool. We got Mockingbird number 1. Delinquent chicken. Look at him. It's great. Okay. Rohank saying that cereals are their favorite cereal. Well done, Rohank. Well done. Okay. Oh, we got a TV. Old school 80s television. A color television. Father bought one as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. Unlike the latest models, there is no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around and marveled at it as a family. But with Father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. Now it just sits there, off, watching us. Ooh, what's that? It's a clock! The swinging of the pendulum echoes through the room. It feels livelier than usual with Richter here. Usually it's just me, all alone, in this mansion, by myself. Ooh! Chandelier! The lights. The chandelier is the only thing in here that's my choice. It's my favorite part of the room. Okay, fair enough. It's okay. Is that really the best chandelier they had? I guess it'll do. I guess it's alright. Ooh, what's that? Fax machine. You can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely find a use for it. So you know what we should do? We should have the TV fight the fax machine and see who wins. Have them do a battle, do like a robot battle between the two. And finally, we have the good old rotary phone. This mansion has a private line. Ooh, fancy. Humble brag. That's all you had to say. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. Okay. Well then, I think we've explored this room pretty thoroughly. Let's talk to our boy Richter. After taking a good look at this dashing man. Look at this guy. He's a private investigator I hired. A friend told me about him. They said he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. And what does he do? Tell me. When I first visited his office in Otis City and saw how he dressed, I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but he seems like the reliable sort. Alright, let's look and learn about Richter. Possibly my favorite character in the game so far, even though he probably killed our past character. Something about a detective wearing white seems a little off to me, you know? Like, I feel like a good detective should be down in the muck, you know, and like the underbelly of society, and that wearing white clothes like this would get dirtied very easily. But I don't know. Could be wrong. Also, he's got like one eye covered up by his hair. What a stylish guy. He doesn't have a curse echo. Oh. Wait a minute, this does confirm it. So, Richter was not the guy that killed us. He was not the guy that killed Okie. It was our main protagonist, who was cursed with the clackers, the flame power. Rohank says, maybe he dresses up as Michael Jackson so people don't think he's a detective. I think there can be something to that, you know? Like subverting people's expectations. I don't think that is totally unfounded there, Rohank. But we'll see. Let's learn more about this private investigator. The eccentric man that Shogo Okie ran into at Hoonjo Bridge in a different timeline. Richter is actually a private investigator with an office in Otis City, Tokyo. After taking on a request from Haruo Shigema, who's our main character, currently, to investigate the unsolved kidnapping and murder of her son, he gets caught up in the events surrounding the rite of resurrection. Once a police officer, Richter was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need, and quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases, and has put his office in dire financial straits. How he is still in business is a mystery. Maybe the biggest mystery of this entire game, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Richter studied alongside Detective Jun Ario at the police academy. We know that guy. Ah, this guy, this younger cop that we talked to earlier. So they know each other. Somewhat surprisingly, given his outlandish clothing and mannerisms, Richter excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. That's weird. Okay. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire that only ever succeeds at impressing himself. I like this guy. He's okay. Richter's biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet, Ernestine, which he keeps in his office. Huh. Wow, what a pure-hearted guy. He also enjoys collecting mockingbird stickers, a popular line of merchandise featuring birds. Yep, we talked about the birds before. He looks for them everywhere. While out and about, Richter typically leaves the office and, more importantly, Ernestine in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler who volunteered to assist Richter after being involved in a previous case. We haven't met her yet, have we? I don't think so. Okay. We know all about Richter now. He's an okay guy. Apparently a pretty good private investigator. And once again, best looking dude in this game. I see the Blooded Wings there in chat. Hi there. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good weekend as we get it kicked off on this Friday. All right. More files. Oh my god. Is your hair an agency? Okay, we're gonna skim through this. It's his private investigation firm. I see. So he picked the name based on the phone book listing. Oh, really? The heron is a bird of ill omen. Interesting. I didn't know that. Keeps a parrot as his pet. Dresses in white. He's a private investigator. Yep, we read all about him. Sure. Yeah, private investigators investigate things privately. Makes sense. And the mockingbirds. Yep, they're birds. They're actually really cool. I like them, but kind of the bottom of my list of things that I care about right now. I see the Blooded Wings. I see. They're saying the trees give them power. Not sure why, but they've said it, and I'm sure it must be true. Okay. Cool. So, Richter, are we ready to discuss things? Or I could think a little bit. We'll do that first. My heart's still racing. This is it. My chance. At long last. I think she's planning on using her curse powers, is what it sounds like to me. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. Almost like you were given magical curse powers or something. And the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? She gonna tell him? Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna get you locked up. So the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere. Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. Jong! I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. Which is the same thing that happened to our last guy, by the way. With evidence that clear, there's no denying there's some supernatural force at work. Yeah. Richter, everyone knows that, like, magic is bullshit, and they don't make stuff appear all the time. Magicians, I mean, like street magicians, not actual magicians, which might be a real thing in this game. Anyways, let's talk more. I don't think you quite understand. Oh? This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. It's about beef. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched onto my soul, along with the curse echo's resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did hundreds of years ago, wreathed in flame, writhing in pain, as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. Uh-huh, says Richter. Once again, committing to probably getting her committed. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you. I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me anyways. Good grief. Talk about a spanner in the works. Use the word spanner, Richter. Okay, whatever. I say we take it stock for a moment. Remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. To hell is where we're going, Richter. That might be a good idea. Alright, he's saying to think, we're gonna think. My heart's still racing. Yep, nope, nothing new there. I'm assuming nothing changed in this room. Yep, sticker's still there. So you got the stereo. Chandelier. Yep, chandelier still comfortably overhead, lighting the room. All right, Richter. Let's talk about the investigation. That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigema. Oh, yes, I remember. The event that, like, ruined my life. Yes, I recall that vaguely. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. It is like midnight, isn't it? I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember. You were just about to tell me. Okay. The Shigema kidnapping overview. Get some water. Looks like another long info dump. Shigema kidnapping. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida, around 1 year ago. Haruo Shigema's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could largely be ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case is long gone cold. Okay. A tragic story, to be sure. Of pride over the life of a child. I'm sure stuff like this has happened before. And it's no surprise that Haruo is torn up about this. So it was her husband and her father that both, like, went against her and chose the police over the life of her son. Man. Rough. Can't blame her for having a murderous intent and for, like, wanting to get revenge and not caring about who gets hurt, you know, along the way. It's understandable. Obviously unforgivable, but understandable. Alright. Persons of interest updated. So, yep. There's Shuichi himself. He's the only son, so we'll skim through this since he's, like, dead. He was conscientious and brave, as we established before. We learned the abacus. Wow, really useful. Took English lessons, okay. Got it. He's a good kid. He didn't deserve what happened to him. Then again, not even a bad kid would deserve that sort of fate, right? Alright. Nothing new. No new thoughts. Head empty. Or, like, full of flames and murder, I guess. Alright, let's talk about the investigation. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Catch the bad guys. Catch the guys that got my son killed. I guess the kidnapper, right? Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found, and then we can make a decision. All right. Tell me. You know. Okay, whatever. About the kidnapping, please. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll have to leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, northern Oyoko River here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Okay. I was thinking maybe the payphones, right? But if he was in the background, obviously that's not the case. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at the school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Yep. Maybe, but... Exactly, Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood, too. I even saw him warning the other children. Huh. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue there is, there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone up in a car with that many students around and not be noticed. No way, so it had to be someone he knew. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So did they target him at some other time or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided that the kidnapper must have just gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? Yeah. Thinking it was an inside job of some sort. Oh, by the way, I have a stream I want to catch at 11 o'clock, which is 2 hours and 7 minutes from now. So there's the time limitation on tonight's stream. Forgot to bring that up earlier. Hopefully we don't get cliffhangered. Alright, more about the kidnapping. The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into their car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if there was somebody that he would have a reason to trust. Yep. A teacher, perhaps, or a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly. Oh, that face. Aw. You can tell she's, like, worried about this a lot. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather... what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? Plausible. Huh? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigema family has close ties with the police, after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. Okay. Interesting. But here's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Is that true? I don't know about that, but okay, we'll go with it. Huh? Even kids who have been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? Okay, but what did the voice of the kidnapper sound like? Because we heard from them on the phone, right? I mean, I guess they could have had an accomplice, to be fair. But still, I'm assuming the kidnapper was a man. He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. That good old chivalry coming back to bite ya in the worst way. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays. But if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman. But it was a man's voice on the phone. Yeah, exactly. Culprits. This is the only explanation. If this thread has any yarn to it. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. Huh. Okay. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And I figure that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. Damn. Real foot on the ground detective there, real gumshoe you could say. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. It turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Ooh, my voice is kind of going. Love it. All right, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again? Who the hell are you? Jonochi? Jonochi? Okay, sure. Look at that hair, man. Jeez. He looks like he's straight out of the 80s. Got it. Well, Jonochi, I'm all ears. What voice should we give this guy?
Just so we're on the same page. You're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shimima's kidnapping. Do I have that right?
Of course. What else do I look like? Michael Jackson?
How should I know what a private detective looks like? Forget it. Look, I'll just tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help.
What? You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who is trying to kill you?
A student called Michio Shiraishi.
Michio Shiraishi. Michio Shiraishi. Nope. Not, Utaro. Thought I'd check. Interesting. Schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty. Whoa.
It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima.
Oh. Michio Shiraishi. Come again?
I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him, I'm sure of it. Or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me.
If that's true, then you've been sitting on some valuable information, you dumbass. Why don't you tell anybody?
Well, you see.
You can't explain that. I don't have any reason to believe you.
I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word.
You're telling me that a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? Bruh. So you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans?
Yes, that's it, exactly. I'm begging you, please don't let her get me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon!
Well, you seem to believe what you're saying. But it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified?
You don't know what she could do. She'll curse me.
Curse you? That face. Look at that. I'm sorry, but you're losing me here.
It's true. Or else it's, forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough, I'll find someone else to help me. Goodbye.
Hey. A reasonable reaction there, Richter. Okay. And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk. But then I talked to you, and you spoke only crazy talk. I'm starting to see that there might be some more to it. Then if we could just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she's with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name is Kohei Jonochi. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Shimida. A teacher? Then the schoolgirl is one of his students? I think that's very likely. I understand being scared of your students, man. Kids are scary. Okay. Well, that's a solid lead, I'd say. At last, we got a lead. Hopefully, it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. Okay. Should we discuss the Rite of Resurrection or the investigation? Okay, we need to... Fair enough. You didn't want to talk. I was thinking, because, like, the Rite of Resurrection doesn't seem super relevant to this, this whole, like, kidnapping case, right? With the sole fact that it's given her a motive to like, engage in trying to resurrect her kid. But the game thinks we should discuss it, then we will oblige and discuss it. So let's talk about the Rite of Resurrection. This is very quiet, says the Blooded Wings. What you mean, like the game? Yeah, there's no sound on mine either. I think it's intentional. I don't think it's like a glitch or anything. I don't think, but it could be wrong. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I read about that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently, some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rite can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Bad news, lady. Like I had hope, real hope, for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. So, something that hasn't been mentioned yet, but was brought up earlier. Apparently, the longer someone's been dead, the higher the cost of bringing them back. As far as, like, soul dregs or whatever. So, since this kid's been dead for like a year, the price is going to be higher than it would have been for like Yoko, for example, who was only dead for one night, or just a few hours, really. So, a little bit of tidbit to keep in mind. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right? I guess I need to ask. It's written all over your face. And like your entire backstory, too. I can tell how much he meant to you. Your son. But, and this is a big butt. Like a giant butt. A ginormous, freaking juicy butt. If this right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Oh, you think it's one person? That's cute. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I'd thought, if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Do you see an issue with that? But my life was bad, so it's okay, right? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. So, that's it, is it? Dear oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? I'm gonna die, aren't I? Why is the game so quiet? Like, there's still, like, clickies and stuff. Is it bugged? Let's see. Like, you still hear, like, the beeps on the menu, right? I think you should be able to. I'm gonna assume that it's a choice by the game, that everything's okay. And it's not, like, gearing up for a jump scare or something. Surely the game wouldn't do that. Where's the blood, said the Blooded Wings. What blood? I don't think we've seen any blood in this game so far. We've seen people drowned. That was pretty brutal. And, like, burned alive. But blood has been absent. More about the Rite of Resurrection, please. If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. Are you psychic, the Blooded Wings? Because there's the word that you just called out in chat. Game's listening. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am. Not even for a client. We do know that his business is probably going under, right? So, yeah, we'll offer to finance and keep it from going bankrupt. How much can I give you to change your mind? Sorry, man, but not everyone has a price. I've got my policies and I stick to them. No murder on any account, never ever. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. I thought I could just talk you into murder, but I guess I was wrong. You're so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. Wait, what? What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soldier eggs? If that was all you were after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. Hey there, Eduardo, how's it going? Yeah, tomorrow's April Fool's, isn't it? Actually, today's April Fool's in some parts of the world. I know because the Discord server I hang out on went to April Fool's mode at, like, lunch, and it freaked me out for a little bit. Anyways, good to see you, Eduardo. Right. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My. Okay. So thus the plan was hatched. Where we're not going to kill anyone. We're just going to threaten them with, like, ancient curses and stuff. Let's talk about my curse. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? The Haunting Clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo, if I remember correctly. Also like the title of the game. Also, there's 9 mysteries or something. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere here in Hanjo. What with them being like the 7 mysteries of Hanjo and all. Not like the 7 mysteries of not Hanjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds reasonable. Yeah. More about my curse, please. Understood, Eduardo. Understood. Good luck with surviving April Fools. It sounds like it's quite the ordeal for you. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person. Is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. It seems like a good curse to have. Seems like a decent curse to have, you know. You know. There's probably better curses, but there's probably worse curses too. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. Good point. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. And say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you were there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it, which would be a shame. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. Oh, God. Hey, Richter, how game are you? How part of this team are you, Richter? Let's prove it right now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. How very stubborn of you. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying. I don't think that's just the curse. You flatter. What? Weird. Okie dokie. So Richter's not gonna, like, volunteer to have himself burned. That's a shame. As for what we do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous, like combustion, or outside of your normal routine. Just act natural. Alright, now then. Right then, have you decided what you want me to be working on? Okay, decision time. And we're gonna do it from the perspective of this character. Because that's the question we're answering, right? It's like, how gone is her soul? Is she after revenge? Or justice or truth or peace? And, like, letting her son, like, rest in peace? Or has she become murderous and, like, want to bring him back through ancient evil right? To me, what the character would do in this point of the story is they want the right. You know, they want to bring their kid back. They talked a lot about how they felt like the impulse to murder, and they were, like, really on board, like their prayers had been answered, you know? So I think help with the right is kind of the way to go. All right. See you, Eduardo. Thanks for the update, and have a good weekend. Maybe see you tomorrow for tabs, or maybe not. Up to you. All right, let's go with the right option. Bringing my son back is more important. I want you to help me with the rite of resurrection. Roger that, the rite it is. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night, making myself a huge target. And once the city wakes up and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try to find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. That's way more than I asked you for, but okay. Now then. I should get to work. Nice belt buckle, too. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find out anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. All right. There's no telling what kinds of curses you might find out on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it. And try to be ready for anything. I will. Pose. Well, if that's all, I should be going. See you, Richter. All right. So, we got choices here. Do we try to do someone else's path, or do we stay on the top path? I say for now we stay on the top path. Yeah. We'll try and make as much progress on Harue's line as we can tonight before the stream has to tragically end. Oh, I see. So, marked up here are the times of day, right? So here's morning, right there, and I guess this is midnight? This is, like, right around, like, the middle of the night. A nice thought. Haruwe. Despite having obtained the curse of the haunting clappers, Haruwe is determined to use the rite of resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator, Richter, to find the other curse bearers. And she definitely won't be going outside and investigating things herself. That would be dumb. It's 1 a.m., not midnight. Excuse me. It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened. But he hasn't. I guess nothing has happened. So all I can do is wait. And wait. And think. I know it's dangerous to go out, but I'm bored. Yeah, I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. I have to look for her. For Michio Shiraishi. Oh, okay, so you are, like, trying to track her down still. But first, I need to find more soul dregs. There we go, that's the spirit. It's like you don't, like, get started on your day without having a good breakfast. Same sort of idea. Are you really gonna make me investigate all this stuff again? She's seen it too often to feel anything from it now. Okay. Flower arrangement. I put her at ease. We do get slightly different text this time. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. Just for murder. Okay, I can't click on the sticker. That's a shame. TV? There's nothing on at this hour. No, the TV's just off, ma'am. I see no point in turning it on. Whatever. Ooh, what's that? Newspaper. That's new. It's like a newspaper. But first things first, chandelier. My husband used to complain that it was too dark, but I rather like the gloom. All right, lady. Okay, whatever. Fax machine. It's a fax machine. It's been eyeing the TV angrily. And the rotary phone. No calls. All right. Ooh, the table. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. It's not that hard. Well, depends, I guess. There's probably kinds of tea that I don't know how to make, but, you know, take the bag out, eat the water. It's not that tough. All right, newspaper time. What's this, a newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. Read it? Why would you not read it? Let's check it out. It's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've ever taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Huh. So even before her kid died. Interesting. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. May as well read the frickin' newspaper. Society, economy, culture, education, and TV. Well, we know nothing's on at this hour, so no point looking at TV. I think society and culture are probably the most relevant. It looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it'd make my eyes water. Damn. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. That's good. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. Okay. What about culture? Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Whoa, that's crazy. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music was all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. Fair enough, you're out of touch. It's fine, like, I can relate. I need to distract myself somehow. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Maybe reading the newspaper will take my mind off things. Alright, we'll read all the newspaper then. Yep, better not put the TV on or anything. The ticking seems so loud. It just goes to show how quiet it is. Okay. Alright, what about the economy? All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom is past its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. Oh, joy. It's about 2020 to 2030 yen to the dollar. Huh. Interesting. So that's like worse than it is today, right? Because today it's like, I know that it's gone down some, like the yen versus the dollar. But I think it's about like 100 yen per dollar, right? Like that's the easy conversion. So if it took 220 to 230 to make a dollar back then it took more. Interesting. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar's down from its height and people are saying it could fall further. Right. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Right. Interesting stuff. What about education? Everyone attends high schools now, even girls. Wow, what a concept. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Once again, wow, what a concept. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise, especially from, like, chickens and stuff. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. Didn't you say that he liked to, like, get into fights and stuff to, like, protect people, to be fair, but I don't know. Maybe a bit of mother's bias there. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. Too bad, we're reading more. Look at the television articles. I don't really watch much television. There's never anything on, you see. Even though the TV's not on, so I can't tell. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Huh. Okay. Okay, I guess we gotta go through everything, so back to society we go. If there's one thing Hanjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. Nice. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. What a coincidence. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore. Not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Okay. More society. Suicide at local high school. Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. Jeez. She was bullied, I think. Or maybe it was something about exam pressure? Huh? What? But... No, this can't be right. Her name... Michio Shiraishi from Komagata High School. Wait, that's her! Oh... So, was it the guilt, or was it someone covering up their tracks? Let's find out. It can't be! Well... That was our lead! Michio Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week? But that means... Mr. Giannucci was terrified of someone who already died. Oh! I did not make that connection. Is that what he meant by a curse? I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know. Why wouldn't he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? Alright, let's look at the phone. I made sure the receiver's on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. That must be him. Hello? Shirigama residence. Shigima residence. My goodness. Also, call at 1 a.m. 2 a.m. Sorry, maybe you call it 2 a.m. Komagata Bridge. Who's that handsome man? Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. You're hot. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. You're hot. They just start making out. Let's look at our surroundings real quick. We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. More updates. Let's see. I think we've seen this. No, this is a different bridge, I believe. But having this information, that it's got distinctive blue arches and cutting edge, or that they are cutting edge, is like, we could not continue with the story and enjoy it to the fullest without that knowledge. So I'm glad we, like, looked at our surroundings there. Alright, Richter. What's the deal? He's gazing down at the water. What does he see down there, I wonder? Maybe water. Alright, I'll go first. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi, The one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping? That's her. Well, she's dead.
She's what?
The student who committed suicide last week. That was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead, only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Too soon, Richter. Too soon. Unless her death was the whole reason Joichi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? It seems like we're back where we started. But we're not. We're back. We're like on a bridge. Not necessarily. The teacher knows something. I'm sure of it. At the very least, I put my money on him having something to do with Mr. Shiraishi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. Huh? In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I couldn't say. I'm just an ordinary housewife. I'm not clever enough for all this. Damn, Haruhi, don't put yourself down like that. Are you sure? I had you down for sharper than that. Yeah, exactly. That's flattering, but I'm afraid you're mistaken. Anyway, that's enough speculation for now. The truth will out in time. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jonoichi. But how? It's like 2 a.m. Unless you, like, dragged him out here. All right. Please go ahead. All right, then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries, looking for any curse bearers. And I think I found a few candidates. This guy. This suspicious fellow. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinshibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little. But he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of it the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer, even though he's like totally not. He's just suspicious enough to be one. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw on South Warigesui Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him, too. It was clear he was up to some shady business, like, I don't know, murdering people for their souls? Gathering soul dregs, I bet. He'd make a good target. Next up is a pair. A young man and a woman I saw around Ryoku Bridge. This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. All this stuff sounds like our encounters with these guys. Well, at least with the first guy and the third guy. We never met the middle-aged man. Anyways, I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were working quite as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you can make it work. With things being how they are, it's gotta be hard to find folks one can trust. They've got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Brass is very expensive. Last is 2 detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved. Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might it be a curse that... Or it might be a curse... Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. It's a little awkwardly phrased statement, isn't it? And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's gotta be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that when you're in this business, there's some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye. You found all of them in so little time. I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, man. Richter Kai, P.I. Pose. No, wait, make that Richter Kai investigator extraordinaire. My. An investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Maybe it's like training weights for him, you know? Like he wears the white to like make it more challenging for himself or something. I don't know. Well, that aside,
The middle-aged man and the young couple sounded the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang a fire and see how things play out. Hang fire? Hang fire? Huh? Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Okay, let's think about this. Let's think about... standing around is the last thing I want to be doing right now. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford to fritter it away. Sure. Didn't you want to tell me something? I already said everything I want to say. Oh, well, then we're done talking, I guess. Let's look at the river. The Samita River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Samita River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is you're going for a drink, bud! And, like, pushes him in. Because I can hardly stand the sight of it. Understandable, actually. Right, should have guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been. How cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something like that? Something so awful. Oh, hey, Derpendum, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I've come here every day since then. And I prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Samita River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Miriki, and just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one, too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly. That's why the rite of resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the 7 mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make the spot where we're standing now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. Okay, got a little bit spiritual and deep there. Derpendum says that they were working on a mod for a hat in time for the past 3 hours. That doubles the amount of dyes, which is skins in different colors or textures for your character. That sounds awesome, Derpendum. Nice. Guys, I'm gonna step away real quick. I'm gonna take a short break. Back in a sec. The toilet's calling me, and I better answer the call. So I'll see you here in just a little bit.
We're gonna go to break, and we'll learn about the Samita River a little bit more.
A great slam and then some. You're up.
All right. Appreciate your patience. We have returned. Now then, we learned about the historic and mystical significance of the Samita River. Let's read a bit more and find out even more about it. Samita River is a Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into the Tokyo Bay. During the... I got a mouse into the window. During the Edo period, Samita's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to its logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many woodblock paints or prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period, but the situation has improved since then. Many unique bridges span the Samita River, including the Ryogoku and the Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive firework displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's just very culturally significant, right, for the town, basically. It's also significant to our main character here, to the housewife. This is where she last saw her son. And he wasn't alive when she saw him there. Okay, we can look at the river again, I guess. We didn't get that check mark. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? No, don't tell me. Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years ago now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Samita River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. Discharge is like a bad word, isn't it? Just one of those words that makes you go, yeah. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. Ew. And one day, amongst all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? What? It was almost a miracle when you stopped to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have been an identifiable scar. And that they could tell it'd been a murder from the blade marks on the bone. Richter is rightly concerned about this. Wait, are you thinking about the Nejima murders? The Nejima murders. So you have heard of it. I'm impressed. It's like you're informed as a cop or something. Weird, odd, wouldn't expect that from you. Private investigator. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time. I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. Damn. The Nejima Murders Overview. A notorious case from over 2 decades ago involving the murder of a female high school student. It first came to the attention of the authorities when part of a human left hand was discovered floating in the Samita River. Testing revealed it to belong to a missing female high school student. As it appeared to have been severed deliberately, the police launched a murder investigation. As they probably rightly should have. A large-scale search of the river was organized, but the highly polluted state of the water made this impossible. Visibility was poor, the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. Ew. Damn, that must have been, like, really bad if, like, even just diving in the water, make you sick. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's head, and what appeared to be a part of her leg, before the search was called off. Jeez. Ooh. At the time of the incident, the Samita River was as polluted as it had ever been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they may have fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologies at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, and so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until a hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During a questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Nejima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into his background was conducted, leading to his arrest. Okay. Nejima testified that he had snatched his victims from the street and confined her in the underground storeroom. Sorry, singular victim. In the underground storeroom of his shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target on seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, and her elbows, her knees, working his way inward slowly and methodically. His victim constantly wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Nejima dismembered the rest of her body and disposed of it behind his home in the Samita River before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine, as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation when they were eventually reported. Yeah, they've shocked me. Once apprehended, Nejima readily divulged the details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motive. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, "I don't know what came over me. I know it was wrong." In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his methods strongly suggested that he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence ever came to light. Nejima was sentenced to life in prison at his first hearing. The sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendant. That was brutal. But there were other victims. I wonder if he was, like, possessed or something. What? Could that have been one of the curses, I wonder? Huh. Let's see. Do we have any candidates? It's not going to be the Whispering Canal. I don't know. Hang on. Maybe the one-sided read, right? Because... yeah, he cut the arm and the leg off one side of her body. So that's a bit of dismemberment. Pretty brutal. That's the only one that kind of maybe fits. I'm guessing it's got to be curse. I mean, we're playing the game, right? It's got to be curse related, but I'm just saying. I would bet the one-sided read's responsible for that. Okay. Persons of interest updated. Let's take a look. Oh, that's him. Okay. Fumichika Nejima. He's self-employed. Yep, he's the guy. Although, them calling it the Nejima murders implies that they blame him for the other ones, too. Yeah. Okay. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos, just parting around me. Something like that. Huh? Yeah, that was all her lines. Okay. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. Damn, dude, what are you implying? But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. That's right. Which is why the riverbed is the last place anyone would go looking. Or so is the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. Huh? You see, back then, if you chopped a body up into tiny pieces and threw it into the river, it would rot, quickly and discreetly, and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. You have much knowledge of this, Haru. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after. Fumichika Nejima. The man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, it couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murderers in the end. But the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So, really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? It's disturbing. Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. Huh? The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Huh. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. Huh. Okay. I don't know, man. I'm wondering if she's got a taste of murder already. She knew a lot about how to, like, get a body to vanish and stuff. But how did they trace it back to him? They traced it back to him because he knew details about her that weren't released to the public, right? He could have been in a relationship with her or something. I don't know. I don't know. The Samita River. I have nothing but awful memories of it. And that's all we're going to say about it. Okay. No one's around here. Everything's coast is clear. It's all good. Richter. I'm not sure what to do here. Let's think a little bit. Yeah, don't want to be standing around. Richter's lost in thought. Is something wrong? Not really, it just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Nejima murders. So it has. Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Huh? Life in prison doesn't always mean life. Oh, no! Someone's coming for ya. Someone wants revenge, maybe. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and the desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Once again, don't be impressed of a cop knowing about, like, the legal system, but whatever. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. Seems fucked up, but okay. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities so they won't be recognized in the workplace. My. The way you put it. It's like you're saying, Fumichika Nejimi could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name, with nobody any the wiser. Like he could be behind me right now with a knife, ready to exact his revenge. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if it was Nejima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind. I see. How unsettling. Yeah, I think it's time to get the body armor our way, and maybe like some self-defense. Then again, she does have the ability to curse people, so maybe just like a box of matches would be good enough for her. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too. What is it? I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think. And I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika Nejima. Oh? He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remember, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps... Recognize him from the back! Well, whatever. Perhaps it was him after all. Well, damn. Can we kill him? I think, like... No, I was about to go all Death Note and say, if anyone deserves to die, it's him, and pull out my book and start writing names, but... we'll see how the story plays out. So, what next? The big question now is whether the rest of the Curse Bearers are up to, or what they're up to, or how they're up to, or, what they're doing, or, what their favorite, color is. Luckily, the Samita River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other Curse Bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. All right. Think then. What? Suspend? No. Wait, yes? Can't do anything. Do we have to suspend? Do we have to, like, come back here or something? All right, you cannot currently progress any further, which means someone's definitely showing up. Once your situation is changed, select resume to try again. Okay. Sounds good. So we're stuck there at a nice thought. A nice thought, nothing more. Ironic title. Okay. We've got about an hour left to stream tonight. Let's make some progress on Tetsuo's case, on his storyline. We'll leave Yako for last. How's that sound? Sound okay? Sounds okay to me. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Crime scene investigation. Tetsuo Susumi. Tetsuo Susumi, Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, First Investigative Division, is investigating. As a member of the First Investigative Division, investigating is all he does. Investigations is his specialty, and it's what he'll continue to do for the rest of his career. He's looking into the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident in former Yasuda Gardens with his subordinate, Jun Erio. And here we go. Jun being one of the sexy dudes of this game, I would say. Alright, former Yasuda Gardens. We've been here before, in the first storyline. It's where it ended, actually, so... see what's going on here. Erio says, hey boss, forensics is all done. The crime scene is clear. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow like nothing ever happened. Even though something horrible happened here. Oh, I doubt it'll get many visitors after everything that's happened. You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you know that, boss? You're really out of touch, so you might not know that. That sounds stupid. Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is. Somehow I doubt it'd be that simple. Oh, but you know, I heard that high school girls are really into the spirit board things these days. Nope, we don't do spirit boards around here. Supposedly, you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something? You can try it out yourself if you're so interested. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss. Confirming he's a high school girl, maybe. What now? Stop messing around. You think we're gonna solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper? Sounds like you know all about it. You're a high school girl too, aren't you, boss? We gotta be open-minded. What if that's how police work is gonna be from now on? Don't make me laugh. I laugh all the time, so it's really easy to make me laugh, let me tell you. Alright, file's updated. Let's take a look. It's a spirit board. It's a really crappy Ouija board. Crappy might be a bit strong, but you know what I mean. It's not official, is it? You can make this yourself. The pen and paper. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular amongst young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Like this one, for example. Alright, cool. Listen up, Ario. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever or whatever it was did this, I'll get them. I promise you that. I'll murder them with this fist of mine. Stick it right through their heart. Well, you got the right attitude, but we don't even know if this is a murder yet. Besides, weaken our judgment, or biases weaken our judgment, I guess. Get too fixated on one thing and you'll stop seeing everything else. Aye aye, boss! So now we've finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know! Huh? Now? It's getting late. I figured we head straight home from here. Take a bath together. Maybe have a nice dinner, I don't know. Come on! We gotta go over all the info we've gathered. Okay, I guess so. And what better place to do that than here at the scene of the crime, where we can soak up the atmosphere? Soak up the atmosphere? The hell is there to soak up? You must be really into this occult stuff if you get off on being in a place like this. Weirdo.
Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way!
No, don't. Don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here. Cripes. Oh, fine. Let's get this over with.
Aye, aye, boss.
You gotta stop the aye thing, buddy. Aereo, please. It's for your own good.
All right.
June Aereo. He's got a gun. He's a cop. He's a detective in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. His rank is Sergeant. Oh, Sergeant June Aereo. Okay. This is his first time leading a case. It's like he's graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly. The force could use more people like him. Oh, really? Huh, okay. Interesting. Alright, let's think about things. I've got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. Yeah, way to have a positive outlook there, buddy. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yokohama Ichome were originally built as part of a Daiomo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became a city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. A soul, eh? Interesting that you chose that word. What do you know, June? I still think this tree is suspicious as hell. Oh, the pond. This pond. They say it used to flow into the, That's him, right? Yeah. This pond. They say it used to flow into the Sumida River. But the river became so polluted that they cut it off. There's this whole thing about, like, stagnant water that you gotta watch out for in games like this. Then again, the river itself was, like, drenched in evil atmosphere and stuff before, so I don't know. Seems like everything's just, like, evil around here. So, yeah. Water, not water, land, streets, the darkness itself. It's all bad. Alright, let's talk. About the case.
So, early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a police officer and that the evidence of a struggle... Oh. The fact that he was a police officer and that there was evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether there was a foul play involved.
Just foul play, not a foul play. Jeez.
I think that about sums things up.
Yeah, I think so. Let's talk more, though.
But, boss?
Yeah?
Is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but...
It's all up to the higher-ups. I'm sure they've got their reasons.
Boss, you know something, don't you?
It'll all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much.
I'm worried about it. Thinking about it. The only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe. Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something. Is that right?
You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself.
The
question is, can I continue to do this voice for a long period of time? We'll try. Might, have consequences for tomorrow's stream, but we'll deal with it. Let's talk more about the case.
Well, it's our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially one involving an officer.
Sure. Let's talk about the victim.
The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau, 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles in education. His rank was Senior Police Officer.
You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like?
He was a hottie. Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two.
Don't know about the jacket, but, you know, whatever. Well built. Nice looking guy. Areo's, like, clearly into him.
He could be a little rowdy under the sheets, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of a cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation.
Sounds like we lost a good one.
Yes, we did. We truly did.
Damn. Pour one out for that dude.
I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but...
It's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling.
He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. Only problem was that he took on so much, he had the most unfinished paperwork, too. I always felt we needed an unusual guy like him to help us solve all of our unusual cases.
Okay. Let's take a look at him. Hajime Yoshimi. Sex male. Occupation dead. Let's see. He was a police officer with the Community Safety Bureau and was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the gardens in the morning. Once a rebellious gang member himself, Yoshimi turned his life around and used his own experiences to connect with troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was passionate, loyal, and caring at heart. Looked up to as a big brother by his peers. Yoshimi achieved stellar results. Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases, but his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career, and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée. Oh no. We've been dating since high school. Oh. Shit, man. Okay. I'm not sad because he was like in a relationship by the... Well, okay, let me clarify. I'm sad that he left a fiancée behind. I'm not upset that he was already in a relationship when he was alive. Let me make that like 100% clear.
Okay. Don't worry. You're pretty unusual yourself.
Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago.
There's one even weirder than you?
Yeah, but he dresses like Michael Jackson, doesn't he? Let's talk more. About the victim.
Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop to pay his kindness was to pay his kindness forward. So it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously.
That's a good story. Shit ending, though. Love that kind of thing. Makes me want to have a drink in his honor.
Please don't make fun of my dead friend. I'll punch you in the fucking face.
Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field.
You say it like it's a sure thing I'll die. Foreshadowing. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss. Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale.
Well, I guess how much I miss you depends on how this investigation goes.
I can already see it. Ario, no! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed?
I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours. You should probably not have a gun, but that's okay.
Now, Ario seems like a good guy. And Tsutsumi seems like a good guy, too. Just, you know, classic grizzled sort of cop situation.
Yeah, that'd be a sight to see. I can't wait.
You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Sheesh, you really are something. Some kind of moron!
Thank you?
Proper response, Ario. Anyways, more about this tragic victim.
What about the victim's family?
The Yoshimi family is from Kitasenju in Adachi City, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted.
And he lived there alone?
It looked like the home of an old noble family. It's hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that.
There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things were complicated.
That's a bias, too.
Alright, Ario's a little too sharp.
He never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it.
Hmm.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah?
Hajime was engaged. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school. Over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married.
I hate that. That makes me, like, really, really sad, man. Like, super sad.
What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman.
That's so. How terrible for her.
Yeah, seriously.
But she may know if there been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her.
Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow.
Damn! Sad story.
Hey, boss? I looked into the case that Hajime was running.
Oh, great. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died?
Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles.
Uh-huh.
The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamizawa last week.
Yeah, we know a little bit about that, don't we?
Ah, yeah, I did hear about that.
Oof.
The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School, and apparently an accomplice in a murder. But it seems as though Hajime had contact with her even before this incident. If he were, he had contact with her after this incident where she frickin' died, but whatever.
So she'd been troubled for some time.
That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what.
Must have been trouble at home.
That's what he thought, too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead.
Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then.
He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation.
I see. And you're thinking that may have had something to do with his death. We'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered.
Right, let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too. Man, we got a long list of things to do tomorrow, don't we? All right, more about the victim, please.
And what was the other case he was working?
This one is also related to a Komagata High School student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good, always making trouble in the neighborhood.
Huh, juvenile delinquency. Fun.
She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault and battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then, he met with the girl the day he died.
Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him.
Right, just when she finally found an adult she could trust. She might act out without someone to help her get through this.
Yeah, fair concern, honestly. You know, you always want to keep like a tragedy from spreading and branching out as much as possible, right?
We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But,
Huh?
we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with this death. Then we'll have to interview her, too.
Ah, yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive, after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us. Tomorrow! Bro, we got so much to do tomorrow, I'm like stressing out about it. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her.
That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing.
Ah, yeah, I'm sure they'll prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss.
Watch it, I'm still your superior. You gotta act like you respect me at least.
I thought I was...
You were? Shit, is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed. God, I could smack you.
God, the sexual tension between these two is palpable!
It's probably just me, actually.
Ah, well, don't think you can get away with it like that with other people.
So anyways, boss.
Were you even listening?
We got quite a bit to look into tomorrow.
I'll say.
First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow.
All right, let's look. The schedule for tomorrow. Work. Case notes regarding the death of Hajime Yoshimi, officer with the Samida police. Summary. Body was found at the gardens. He died 2 days prior at 11 a.m., so in the morning, which is odd. It's a bit out of character with all the other curses so far, which have occurred, like, at night. He had heart failure. Heart failure caused, I know, what do you mean? Like, heart failure caused heart failure, right? That's how it works. Signs of a struggle found at the scene. Interesting. Body was discovered by the groundskeeper. And we're investigating the fiance and 2 female students that he was taking care of as part of his job. Right. Understood. Makes sense to me. All right, let's think about things. Yep, still got a bad feeling. Let's talk about the cause of death. Yeah, that's weird, right? As for the cause of death, we wouldn't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it would appear to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved.
Dying in the middle of the park like that, it certainly seems suspicious.
We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We got people trying to identify those prints.
If we can find who they belong to, we might be able to figure this whole thing out.
Right, but it's like a park, right? So, like, plenty of people were, like, walking around, probably.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if that was the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets.
So we can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't many people who think to try mugging a cop as big as him.
I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once and became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly.
Sounds like that perp would have to have been...
Sorry,
it's getting towards the end of the night. Cut me some slack.
Sounds like the perp would have had to have been pretty strong for him to take on Hajime.
Would have to have been pretty strong.
Okay.
Sorry, can I stop the voice? Can you just, like, imagine the voice from now on? Because I do feel like it's causing damage to my vocal flaps, which are very, very, like, sensitive and precious to me. We'll give him a nice deep voice and carry on. More about the cause of death, please. If you hate the Aereo voice, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly comfortable for me. You'll have to suffer through it more.
Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Outside the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found in the morning yesterday. Wait, his time of death was... Hang on, what? The time of death was around 11 p.m. Oh! So his death wasn't in the morning. It was at night. Okay, never mind. But they didn't find him until morning. Makes sense. His body was found in the morning yesterday.
11 p.m.
The day before yesterday. What was Hajime doing over here at that time in the first place? That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss?
Someone called him here, I think. I don't think he's had anything to hide, right? Seems like an upstanding police officer to me. It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here?
Oh, that does seem likely.
They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret.
And then they got into a fight?
No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something.
Then you think it was meditated? That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him.
Well, there's still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime, and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him.
Right.
Let's talk about Tsutsumi.
But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. Like a sculpted, sexy god. That's kind of old, but still sexy. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place.
Ah, yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but...
Yeah, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe I got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it.
Or you got transferred out.
So getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, it's a dream come true.
You finally got the date you wanted, eh, Aereo? I'm so happy for you. Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it?
What is it?
If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect.
Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. When you run your mouth like that.
It's getting late. You must be sleepy. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon.
Yeah, I get it. All right. More about me, if you don't mind.
I've been wowed by your shrewd detective abilities all day today.
Oh, really? Funnily, I've been wowed by you too. Look at that, mutual respect. Let's go.
On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss?
Hell is wrong with you? Prying into my personal life all of a sudden. Trying to figure out if I'm single.
It's just I've never heard you talk about them or anything. Oh, are you single?
Yes, please be single. Please be single. Shut it. That's none of your business.
Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. The department really pressures young officers to get married.
Really? Interesting.
I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though.
How should I know? I came to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago.
Damn it. So then...
God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up on a guy like you. So you are single.
Yeah, I was never home much. Too focused on work. I come home late only to get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all.
How sad. Especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first?
It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Aereo.
You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it. Not unless they're involved with the police work themselves or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss?
Oh, come on, dude. You really think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense.
Come on, I promise I don't mean it the way it sounds, but, how old is she?
Alright, Aereo. You were cool until this moment. And like the moment before where you started asking. Geez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try not to look so intrigued. Jeez. Well, she's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college.
Wow, a college student. Men love an educated lady.
Aereo just did the fastest. What? Well, okay. I'm not gonna... Let's just continue. Aereo is not as cool as I thought he was. Well, I mean... Okay, well, fine, we'll go into it. I too think educated ladies are the best and the bee's knees. TM. But the way he said it's, like, odd, right? It's weird. It's like he's... I don't know. Choosing like a pet or like a meat from the supermarket, you know? It's like, I'll take the educated one. I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I gotta be honest. Stop that. What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that?
She's living on her own though, huh? You must worry about her. I'll take...
Yeah, Aereo's just weirded me out here. Worry, I don't even know where she lives.
Oh, so she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you follow her around everywhere.
I would not. I don't think.
Come on now, we both know that's not true.
Listen here, you little shit.
You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side. Caring for your daughter and stuff, what a softie.
Shut up. What, is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this. Weird. Weird combo. Still, we'll keep talking. About Tatsumi. About me.
Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Nejima murder. What the fuck, dude?
You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding.
You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? Oh, we studied that case at the academy. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested.
All that was just cracking the case, finding the guy. It was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy?
It did. We were all terrified.
Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may never have caught him at all.
I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end.
That's right. We didn't have the evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have stuck Fumika Nejima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years, huh? God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, so much dialogue. Let's talk about the occult, shall we? And after that, maybe we could talk about, like, I don't know, the stock market, and, like, culture, and, like, the history of the town, and, like, everyone else. May as well talk forever and ever. This dialogue will be the rest of the game.
So all this occult stuff, have you heard about it, boss?
What are you talking about?
This Rite of Resurrection thing that everyone's talking about.
No, not you two. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere.
Oh, you have? That's surprising.
Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job.
But don't you feel like the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? This whole thing started right here in Honjo in Sumida City, so I thought that maybe...
Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that right of whatever, or that record of fates.
Sounds like you know all about it.
Boss, are you secretly into the occult? Stop that. Seriously, this isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but... bringing the dead back to life, that's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles. Got it?
Sure, boss. Alright, we've talked all we can. Well, now what?
Now, should we think? Nope, still got a bad feeling. We looked at the pond and the surroundings. About the bridge. Nope, bridge ain't nothing.
Well, I don't know what to do now.
So, the scene. Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks like maybe like where he died. It is. It's the scene of the crime.
This is where the victim was found. It's, well, it's clean now.
I mean, it's like a dirt path, so it's not that clean, but you know what I mean.
It almost feels like nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that knowing that is any consolation. Well, boss, I think that just about does it.
Right, let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. What the fuck? Oh god, what is that?
Huh? Boss, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're going to see...
Bruh! Oh. Damn it, it was that case all along. Do not be fooled. Something the true lie is no rumor. Believe me.
Boss, what is it? Is there something over there?
Go! Such deep sorrow. Resentful memory is flowing into my mind. Those who deceive. In eternal darkness. Kill them. Kill them. Those who spread lies. Kill them all. You've acquired the power of the Curse Stone, the Evergreen Beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Ooh. There was someone in the first part that appeared to have the ability to... Yeah, it was the first guy we killed, the company man. The secretary dude. where he, like, knew that we weren't lying at some point, but he wasn't a curse bearer. Anyways. Alright. Let's take a look. Yes. We got the Evergreen Beach. We've read this before, but we got a curse power. I don't know what that is. I think it's a leaf? Ooh. Spooky. Spooky curse echo there. Kills by hanging one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. Or resentful memory. Hang on. He deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local name Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting Netsuke clasps. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state, as if sentenced to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime, but dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man, even in death. He hung there for days, till his neck stretched horrifically, a visage of pain still etched across his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars where the rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hanging from it, as the mansion's owner was not at home. Another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless. So they accused him of dark arts, and then hung him. Well, it seemed like they didn't hang him. They didn't hang him. Like they thought he got away, but he was hung the next day in the garden. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Files updated. Ugh. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. That was a short one, wasn't it? Well, okay. Alright. Boss! Boss! Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile. Sorry. I'm fine. Just got cursed or whatever. It's no big deal. Ario? Yes? I have some bad news. Oh no, your senility is kicking in, isn't it? No, we got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. We're not going home tonight. Huh? What are you talking about? Alright, cool. So I guess we know the curse is real at this point, or something. I don't know. But, let's see. It's currently 10:35, and I don't want to get into another part. I feel like... Yeah, we're 25 minutes out from my cutoff time, and I would hate to have to end like on a cliffhanger or something, so I think it makes sense to end things here for the night. We'll get back at this on Sunday, and this will be the main game until we wrap it up. Hopefully after... I feel like this is the game that'll take like 5 sessions or so, depending on how long they are, just based on the how long to beat that I looked up. But I am really enjoying this game. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking and trying to come up with voices and stuff, so it is putting a pretty big strain on my throat. But I really like it. I like the story. I like trying to figure out what's going on, and I can't wait to see how things like converge and like cross over. Because you know they're going to. You know the main characters are going to meet at some point. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. So, and also, Who's the guy that Tsutsumi wants to bring back? Because it said that he has someone that he wants to, like, resurrect, but he said his wife left him and his daughter's, like, living at university, right? So I don't know. He doesn't have a clear, like, you know, Haruhi had a very clear motive, right? Like, she wanted to bring her son back, and that's been obvious, but Tetsuo isn't so obvious to me. Like, it could be the cop, I guess, but he didn't seem to have any connection to the cop. The only thing I can think of is if he was lying about his family, right? Like, maybe his daughter actually died when he said she went away to college. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she's just not here anymore. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, I guess. And of course, we got the buddy police officer kind of like accompanying him the whole way, and their whole relationship is kind of interesting, right? June, I think? Yeah. Of course, we still have a lot to learn about him. This is like a suspiciously empty case file here. But yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course, we have the whole Yako storyline, and then, like, who knows what's going to happen with Haruhi at this point, since we reached a dead end on her path. But good stuff. I like the vibe. I like the occult. I think it's, like I said, it's kind of a lot as far as voice acting and exposition goes, and also keeping like track of things. But we'll see what happens next. Like, we're too far in. We're not going to stop now, right? So we will see what happens as we continue. Let's see. Schedule stuff. I am planning a stream tomorrow and on Sunday. The stream tomorrow should be at the standard time. It'll be tabs. It'll be our weekend tab stream. So if that's what you like, that's what you'll get tomorrow. And then Sunday will be more of this, probably, unless I change my mind. But I don't think I will. I think, yeah, we will see more of this. Unless, I don't know, unless my voice is dead or something like that. But I don't know, made some decent progress today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It was nice that we saved Yuko, I guess. Skill Slayer, you are late. Yes, indeed. We're wrapping things up. But good to see you anyways. But yeah, that's basically it. Take care of yourselves, guys. This has been Laggie the Couch. This has been another stream. This has been PARANORMASIGHT. We are investigating these curses. We're kind of at the phase where we're not wrapping things up. We're kind of like wading deeper into the mysteries. So we'll see how deep and dark they go. Until next time, take care and see ya. Couch is out. Later. Try not to get involved in curses, guys, if you can help it. It's just messy business, you know, and it's never worth it. That's the takeaway I've got so far from this game. So try not to get cursed, and I'll see ya tomorrow. Later! Don't get cursed.